let's accessorize. So, I thought it might be time to make a video on accessories because I've started to see a bit more variety around online. I've seen a lot of cool things being shared around in different people's posts and stuff on Reddit. So I thought it might be a good idea to take a look at a couple of those and see what we can find that might be pretty cool. And I'll just sort of a bit of a reaction, a review, and I'll talk a little bit about my case and screen protector that I got. And then another cool website that I found from a Reddit post, on a page that does, accessories for the rabbit. So, without further ado, there we go. I'm just bringing up the camera there for us. So let's take a look and see what we can find. So I think first up, I'm going to share a couple things that I've seen on Etsy. Etsy's a little bit tricky because sometimes things come in and out of stock, and so the listings will change quite regularly. And also there's a bit of a strange misconception about what Rabbit R1 is sometimes on Etsy. So I don't always see the same posts every time I go there, or the same listings, I should say, every time I go there. So I've got a couple here that I wanted to take a look through. Now this one I thought is kind of interesting, and now to be clear, I think a lot of these are 3D printed because there's not a lot of massive companies coming out with stuff as of yet, which is fine. I have had trouble finding, exactly the thing I'm after, and I'm going to talk about that a bit at the end. And maybe anyone is watching, and now they'll make something. But this is a pretty cool looking case. It's quite rugged. It looks like an OtterBox style case, like those older style OtterBox cases, which I think are pretty cool. They always seem really sturdy to me. I also like the fact that it's clear, or clearish, I should say. Here is a really cool stand. I've seen this around a lot. I don't actually know who created it. I'd love to, shout out to whoever designed this originally. It looks like a really awesome desk holder, and I think I'd love to have one of these. It would be even cooler if there was a way to have the plug go straight in, but obviously terminal mode and that kind of thing gets turned on when it's turned to the side. But I think it's really a great looking case, very sleek lines, awesome way to put it. I still need to get something like this for my desk, so if you have one, send me a review. I'll take a look at it and test it out. Here is one of these pretty common sort of cases. It's just a rubber bumper. I say rubber. I'm not exactly sure how some of these feel because they are 3D printed, and this is one thing that gets me about Etsy. I know these are small business owners, and nothing against it at all. I know they're doing their best, but some of these look like they're a little warped, and I don't know if these are productions or the final shots. And I think some good photos really goes a long way. Like if you take a look back at that case, the holder, the desk stand, that photo looks great, which is why the product looks so much more appealing. That being said, this one still looks quite good, and it's raised on the front and the back, which means you're getting no damage to the device, which is awesome. The color it matches, which is really, really important to me, I think. And it's got a little lanyard spot there too, which is a very common theme. I'm not sure if people are wearing these around their necks or not. I've definitely just had it in my pocket as I walk around, but lanyard's good too. Here's another one. This is I think a much harder style sort of bumper case, and a tasteful black is okay. This kind of black where it's thin and it's not covering massive parts of the device, where it's just like an accented color. I think this is really cool, and I really want to shout out that little rabbit in the background with the headphones. I think that's dope. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I obviously want to, quickly mention we've got a bunch of stuff from Amazon that had someone on the Discord, Jorge, I believe, or Rabbit Jesus, as he's known on the Discord. He shared a couple things that he uses, which is this camera case travel pouch, which is a clever idea, and I've actually seen some posts on Reddit as well of people using cases quite similar to this. There's a few different ones that come in different sizes that fit the Rabbit quite well. I guess this feels like something that I'd pack it in my bag with. I'm not 100% sure I would carry this, I don't know, in my pocket, my backpack. I'm not sure where it clips. I certainly don't want to wear a belt clip. I'm not that kind of dad yet. But he was saying he uses that plus this one of these lanyards, which are in a variety of colors. You find the one that suits you and you use it. And the lanyards, again, like I said, it's a pretty common theme with some of this. So obviously there's something to it. Again, I'd love to understand how people are using the lanyard itself, if they're wearing it around their neck or it's just for their arms, or where is it? So let me know in the comments below. And then I wanted to point out a website that I found, which seems to be sort of dedicated to the Rabbit. And this is a fairly new thing for them, I think, and they're still sort of building up. But they have a couple products on there. One of which I actually inadvertently have. I did buy it for myself from, I think, a different retailer, but these guys are obviously carrying stock of it now, which is these screen protectors. So I got a couple of these. Really, really conscious packaging, which I really enjoyed. The screen protector is absolutely no nonsense. It is just a basic screen protector. It is not glass, which we'll get to that in a second. But I do enjoy this screen protector. It's definitely protected my screen. I wish that it came with ones for the camera. I'm a little bit nervous about that little camera notch, and what could potentially happen with a bit of damage on that. Could be really bad. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that just yet. They also seem to have a couple of these silicone cases, which is very similar to the one I have here, and this is where things start to diverge for me, because I have an issue with color. And as I mentioned before, I was going to say something about this, but I really would like to see some clear cases. And I know that, clear cases tend to yellow out over time. But I think the shade of orange that the actual R1 is means that it's not going to be as visible as you think. That's number one. But number two, I just hate covering up that orange. Like, again, I have this orange case, but you can see the stark difference there between, what the camera part looks like and what the actual case looks like. It's a massive brightness difference. It is what it is, right? They're not going to be able to make it exactly the same, but I'd love something closer, if not clear. Clear, matte sort of coverings would be great. Anyway, now these guys have these lanyards, which I'm gonna just gonna screen record you for a second so you can see what I'm looking at. But this is their webpage here, which is Rabbit, fantastic. And let's just pop over to the store real quick so we can see. Okay, this is gonna go. There we go. They have these kind of lanyards like this, which says keychain and neck strap with a detachable end. So it's around, there's a little clip on the back which you can then unattach. Can I zoom in even further and make this bigger? There we go. See, this section here lets you detach it for quick use. So again, this really makes me think that they're using it around their neck. I'd be a little bit curious, but these, I think that's starting to get into a world of cool. I can imagine a world in which you have this under a jumper or under a jacket where the Rabbit is hanging off the end, which is what I was just looking at, and I'll bring up that picture next to me. So they're selling these as well, and I think that is where did I find it? Is it in the cases here? No. I'm not sure. Lanyards and straps. Maybe they're sold out already. I'm not sure, but oh no, here it is. The Crossbody shoulder card neck cord. This is great. This to me feels like exactly what it is that I would get into. I'm nervous about carrying it in my pocket. It is a very light device. I don't want it to get scratched. I want to still have it at arm's reach. You need a quick way to access it. That just seems to do it for me. So I really, really like this rope. It says it's skin-friendly nylon material. It's strong and quick release buckles let you pick up the R1 straight off the thing quick. I think that's really awesome, and I think while it's certainly a bold fashion choice, it's certainly something that will function with a bit of getting used to. So you get a case, maybe one of theirs they have here. You see these cases with the keychain on it. This would function with that neck strap, and this looks like a nice close orange, so I'm really excited. And if you're watching, send me some, I'll do a quick review. But I really like the idea of that, and I think that's a really cool way of going about protecting the device. Last but not least, obviously, there is Dbrand, which I'm going to just bring up another screen recording here, and I'm going to go through this together. So this is the glass screen protectors that they have, which is great. Tempered glass is always the best way to go. Obviously, cost is a feature here, but it looks quite smooth, quite simple. I like it. Easy, easy, easy. You should get a screen protector, even if it's not a glass one. If it's just a plastic one, it's still better than nothing. The skins is where I wanted to spend a bit of time. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is all of these look nice, but none of them serve the purpose that I would really like, which is I just want to be able to hold the device with a bit of finish on it, so that sort of matte feeling, but I want to see the orange. All of this just seems so, it takes away from the orange. I don't know how else to describe that. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But let's say as an example, then we want to really lean into the fact that it's opposite. I kind of like, where was the one? I think it's Dead Quarters. This one had some cool designs on it. But you can do this customizer here. So we say Dead Quarters, and you can give it, what's the next part here? Just a sticker pack. Well, there's nothing here. So there you go. You can have this. And again, I think this looks cool, and it leans into the fact that it's really opposite to the color of the rabbit itself. But I feel like this isn't very protective, and I still wish that I could see more of the orange. So I'd love it if they made a skin that was clear with just a sort of a matte finish. It would dull the orange a little bit, but generally I would still be seeing the orange through. So that's just me. I don't know what anybody else is like, and this is my own review of this situation, I suppose. But either way, there's some really cool cases out there, and I've seen, obviously, AliExpress has a really nice selection of random things and random cases. Amazon has a really nice selection of a bunch of different cases and that kind of thing. But a lot of this looks like trash, if I'm being honest. A lot of it looks like junkware that somebody's just created, and a lot of it looks very similar. Let me just bring up a recording here for you. So this is the Amazon website. When you search just R1 accessories, there's a lot of different glass screen protectors. That's great. And then it sort of falls off into, I have no idea, a rabbit. But in that selection here, you can see some cases, and here's again another one of these carrying cases, obviously been repurposed, but it fits the rabbit. The dimensions just managed to fit, so they like it. Some of these all-in-one packs, that's great. Case, the protector, hopefully the protector fits on the case when it's on there. Screen protector, all that's really cool. But yeah, depending on where you are, these delivery costs could be rough. And the stock might be available, or it could take months. So Amazon's tricky for Australia, at least. That's for me anyway. This one is AliExpress, and you can see here again there's that same case. I feel like I saw somebody selling or just giving away the 3D printed design for this. I have no idea about 3D printing, so I can't remember what it's called, but you can see here there are so many different options here for the same sort of case. So anyway, this one's $1.55, right? I really don't understand if that means it's just the CAD file or whatever it is they use, or if it's the whole thing. Some of these are great, some of these are jank, and here's that same protective case again. It's a lot of the same products, so I think we're missing a bit of variety, and what I feel like is we're missing is some bigger brands doing more high quality stuff. Again, I'm all down for a bit of Etsy and some small business, and I'd love to see some more of those for myself. But again, the Etsy listings and based on what people can technically pump out, those numbers can change. So anyway, this has just been a quick sort of review over some of the cases and stuff that I've seen, and in talking about my case here. So again, I just have it's sort of a rubber silicone cover here, which is fine. It's definitely made me feel more comfortable walking around with it, but there is obviously a difference in the color. Again, just to show you, it's hard to see it on the camera. I apologize. Maybe down here you can see it. It's my light, but there's obviously a difference in color, and this just looks so great by itself, and it feels good in my hand, which is why I want the skin, but I would like it to be clear. But my issue with this kind of a case, and I'm not sure if anybody else has got this same problem, but sometimes I have to really go out of my way to clean the lens of the camera and push to make sure it's the silicone case is sitting correctly around the edge, because if I don't and it's bright and sunny outside, I get this really awkward orange glare that comes out on the photos I'm taking, and I think maybe it's interfered with a couple of my photos in the past. So you got to sort of make sure you've lined that up and it's not sitting sort of funny, because it is silicone. It can sort of warp and bend as you pull it out of your pocket, wherever it is. I'd be interested to see what that's like with something like that cross strap lanyard thing. So anyway, if you're willing to push the boundaries of fashion and want to wear it across the chest strap sort of across the way, that's great. I think that's definitely the most functional design I've seen for a while. So I think I'd like to give that a go sometime if I can pull it off. But I'm also a really big guy, so I bet you it's probably too small for me. But anyway, we have to see how that goes. But otherwise, there are some cool things. I'd love to see some more. Comment down below about some of the cases you have, or maybe some of the experiences you've had with cases and stuff that you've used and tried out. I'd love to see your suggestions. And as always, let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes.